If you want to be rich in 2026, you need to stop listening to the noise and start looking at your own wallet. Most people think wealth is about which stock you pick. They are wrong. Wealth is defined by what you do not buy. We are entering a period I call the silent crash. Inflation is still eating your savings alive. Interest rates are punishing your debt. The rules of money have changed. If you spend money like it is 2019, you will be broke by 2026. I guarantee it. You are working hard, but your money is leaking out of a bucket full of holes. I have seen many smart people, doctors, lawyers, engineers, end up with nothing. Why? Because they fell into the consumption trap. They bought things to impress people they don't like with money they didn't have. Charlie Munger and I always said the first rule of compounding is to never interrupt it unnecessarily. But these 5 things I am about to show you, they are not just interrupting your compounding, they are destroying it. Today, I am going to list the 5 things you must stop buying immediately. If you cut these out, you won't just survive the coming economic shifts, you will thrive. You will get rich. Pay special attention to number 3. It is the most common purchase in America, and it is the single biggest reason why the middle class stays poor. You probably bought it this week. This is not about living a miserable life. This is about freedom. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. Well, it takes 20 years to build a fortune, and these 5 items can ruin it in 5 seconds. Are you ready to seal the leaks in your bucket? Let's start with the first wealth killer. And this one smells like new car spray. Number 1, stop buying brand new cars. It is the single worst financial decision the average American makes, period. The moment you drive that shiny new car off the lot, it loses 10 to 20% of its value. Gone. Poof. You are paying interest on an asset that is depreciating. That is financial suicide. If you borrow money at 7% interest to buy something that goes down 15% in value, you are digging a hole you might never get out of. I drive a Cadillac, but I don't buy a new one every year. I drive it until it stops running. Why? Because the car is just a tool to get me from point A to point B. Let's do the math. The average car payment in America is now over $700 a month. If you took that $700 and instead of giving it to the car dealer, you put it into the S&P 500 for 20 years, do you know what you would have? Over $300,000. So that new car smell, it is costing you $300,000. Is it worth it? Buy a used car, let someone else pay for the depreciation. You keep the wealth. Now, number 2, this one is controversial. Stop buying too much house. I bought my house in Omaha in 1958 for $31. I still live there today. People ask me, Warren, why don't you buy a mansion? You have billions, because a house is a place to live, not a museum. In 2026, with interest rates staying high, a big mortgage is a chain around your neck. You are working for the bank, not for yourself. Society tells you success means a big house. But if that house makes you house poor, if it stops you from investing, if it keeps you awake at night worrying about payments, that is not success. That is a prison. Don't buy a house for your neighbors to look at. Buy a house you can afford comfortably. When you have extra cash, buy productive assets, buy stocks, buy businesses. Don't buy empty bedrooms you never use. Remember, rich people buy assets. Poor people buy liabilities that they think are assets. Number 3, stop buying designer clothes and luxury brands just to show off. This is the fastest way to look rich while actually becoming poor. I'll tell you a secret. You buy a $5,000 watch or a $2,000 bag because you think people will respect you. They don't. They don't care about you. They're just looking at your watch and thinking, I wish I had that watch. You are not buying respect. You are buying a distraction. I buy suits that fit. I buy clothes that last. I don't care about the label inside the collar. If you need a label to feel valuable, you have a problem that money can't fix. Always remember, price is what you pay. Value is what you get. When you buy a luxury brand, you are paying a high price for very little value. When you buy a stock, you try to pay a low price for high value. Be an investor, not a consumer. Number 4, the silent killer. I've used subscriptions and memberships. It seems small, $10 here, $15 there, but it adds up. Companies love subscriptions. They bet on your laziness. They know you will subscribe and forget to cancel. I check every expense. If I don't use it, I cut it. In 2026, cash flow is king. If you have 10 subscriptions leaking money from your bank account every month, you are bleeding capital. Audit your life. If you haven't gone to that gym in 3 months, cancel it today, not tomorrow, today. And now, number 5. This is the most dangerous one. Stop buying things you do not understand. Stop speculating. Every few years, there is a new magic way to get rich. Crypto, NFTs, meme stocks. People buy them not because they have value, but because they hope to sell them to someone else for more money. That is the greater fool theory. Eventually, you run out of fools. I have stayed away from tech bubbles. I stayed away from crypto, and I am still here. The gamblers, they are gone. If you want to get rich in 2026, be boring. Don't try to double your money in a week. Try to double it in 7 or 10 years. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Don't be the impatient one. So, if you stop buying these 5 things, what happens? You stop the bleeding, you regain control, but saving is just the first step. Now you need to build your snowball. When you don't buy the new car, you are buying peace of mind. When you don't buy the big house, you are buying flexibility. You are not depriving yourself, you are paying your future self. Imagine waking up in the morning and saying, I can do whatever I want today. That is the ultimate luxury. And no designer bag can give you that. Only financial independence can. Let's recap. To be rich in 2026, 1 point, avoid the depreciation of new cars. 2, don't be house poor. 3, don't buy labels to impress strangers. 4, cut the subscriptions you don't use. 5, and never ever gamble with your hard-earned money. It sounds simple, but simple is hard. Now I have a challenge for you. I want you to look at your life. Pick just one thing from this list that you will stop buying this year. Go to the comments below and write it down. Make a promise to yourself in public. Write, I will stop buying, and let me know. I want to see you succeed. Now that you have saved all this money, where should you put it? There are only 2 assets I am looking at for the next decade, and they are not what you think. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell. In the next video, I will tell you exactly what they are. Stay rational. See you soon.